Former Prime Minister Gordon Brown has written to the head of the Met Police to call for a new criminal investigation into News International over phone hacking. He told ITV News that it follows new information in court documents which reveal that he was accused of being in a conspiracy to obtain internal emails. This supposed security threat to the owner of the News of the World and the Sun was allegedly used to explain to police why millions of emails that may have been key evidence were destroyed. Mr. Brown told us the revelations were astonishing and claims it was part of a cover-up, something the newspaper company denies. He spoke to our political editor, Robert Peston.
Phone hacking, the criminal invasion of privacy by the News of the World and other newspapers in the group News International that was controlled by Rupert Murdoch. A decade ago, the police conducted an investigation. Its boss, Rebekah Brooks, was prosecuted and cleared. But today, the former Prime Minister Gordon Brown is calling for a new police probe. Why? New information in court documents allege a massive cover-up by News International that involved a big lie about him.
When you saw that they were making that allegation against you, what did you think?
Well, this was astonishing. We've known for some time that the news group destroyed about 30 million emails. What we didn't know was the explanation that they were giving to the police for why they'd done this. And it is totally shocking to think that what they should do is allege that I and Tom Watson should have been bribing one of their employees to try to get hold of their emails. And their pretext for destruction was that I was engaged in trying to get this information. And of course, it's not true.
Brown has today written to the Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, Sir Mark Rowley, saying the theft and bribery accusations are completely untrue and requesting a meeting as a precursor to a new criminal investigation. What's incensed Brown is statements in recent court documents that on the 22nd of January 2011, News International IT executive Paul Cheeseborough emailed Rebekah Brooks and the general manager, Will Lewis, saying Gordon Brown had a sympathiser inside News International who was stealing Brooks's emails. On the 11th of February, Cheeseborough asked for an investigation of the potential theft of data that was allegedly being passed to a Labour MP. And then, on the 8th of July, months after the Met Police started investigating phone hacking, Cheeseborough and Lewis told the police there'd been a suspected theft of Rebekah Brooks' emails, that it was the Labour MP Tom Watson who'd been handling this stolen data and that he was working in a conspiracy with Gordon Brown. This, they told the police, was why millions of emails had been deleted, according to minutes of that meeting referenced in a publicly available statement of the case.
Just to be absolutely clear, you're more than happy to swear on oath that this was a pack of lies, this set of allegations against you?
Absolutely clear.
You've been concerned for some time that the privacy of you and your family was invaded by these newspapers. You've never taken legal action yourself. Why not?
Well, that's a matter that I continue to consider. But the important thing for me is not what happened to me now. The important thing for me is that people have got a right to privacy.
I then asked him about what really sparked national outrage about phone hacking, the targeting by the News of the World of the phone of the missing schoolgirl Millie Dowler.
Well, I'd like to see an investigation into a number of cases that happened subsequently. You've got to look at the SOA murders. You've got to look at what happened in 2005 as a result of the bombings in London, the terrorist incident, and what happened to members of these families. You've also got to look at the Madeleine McCann case. Was News International and were the journalists and were the private investigators involved in invading the privacy of people at the moment of their greatest grief, at the moment when they were most vulnerable?
Your privacy was invaded by this group. Indeed, there is evidence your phone was hacked. Part of this organisation, the Sun newspaper, did turn against you prior to the 2010 general election. This is not revenge served cold.
No, because I haven't taken any action since then other than speak to the Leveson inquiry. And it's only because I've now become aware of all the evidence which is accumulating over these last few months that I think something has got to be done.
Newsgroup newspapers, speaking for itself and for Ms Brooks and for Mr Cheeseborough, said Mr Brown's allegations are unfounded and wrong. They relate to events from over a decade ago which are the subject of current legal proceedings in the civil courts. This is a highly complex and heavily contested area of the litigation, the company said. They're denied by NGN in a detailed defence for the court, and there is absolutely no evidence to support the assertion that Mr Brown's voicemails were intercepted, and this is denied. Will Lewis declined to comment. back in the new Labour day, Gordon Brown and Rebekah Brooks, still boss of News UK, were almost buddies. Not anymore.
Robert, these are really serious allegations from Gordon Brown, aren't they?
They are. The Office of Sir Mark Rowley, Metropolitan Police Commissioner, has confirmed that they've received the request from Gordon Brown for a formal criminal investigation into News UK. We wait to see whether they will do that. It's important to stress that News Group newspapers, owner of The Sun, The Times and so on, have denied Gordon Brown's allegations. But, you know, the stakes are high for them. They're also very high, actually, for Rishi Sunak and Sir Keir Starmer. When you hear a former Prime Minister saying there should be a criminal investigation into such an important newspaper group, it poses questions for them, particularly since Gordon Brown also said to me that there needs to be a second judge-led public inquiry into this phone hacking issue, the so-called Leveson 2, that was cancelled by the Tory government in 2018. He says that it is really important for victims of phone hacking to be confident that this can never happen again. It requires another investigation. So I'm pretty sure that in the run-up to the election, you know, political editors like myself will be asking Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer whether they back such a formal investigation into phone hacking again. They will both be very nervous of doing this, of course, because they want the support of newspapers for their election campaign.